Okay, so last night we had somebody behind our van. This is where we parked. Now if you take a look at the woods here, you'll actually see there's some trampled down plants here. This is where they went through, right here. Okay, so right down in the bottom here is the creek from Mom and Dad's property. It empties out into the river over here, but if you look down here, you'll actually see there's a trail leading up from the creek with disturbed ground there. It leads all the way over to these trees so that they can use these trees as leaning posts to get up the hill. And then look at this. We have disturbed ground here, we have disturbed ground here, there's a footprint in the dirt right there. There was obviously somebody coming up here, and look, they even trimmed back the branches in order to be able to get through. This is their exit point. This is where they're exiting and entering into the woods to go behind my van. Alright, so this is Annapolis River, or Annapolis Basin they call it. It's Annapolis River that leads out to the Atlantic. Up here is where my parents are. Wow! Another boot print. Right here. Blam, blam. Boot prints. Okay, this is the trail leading up to my van from back. Now what they do is they come down here or come up here, and then they walk along the river there until we get to the railway line there. And this is it. This is how they get in and out. Right here. Okay, so I found a little trail here that does not have any sign of deer. It's not a deer trail, but we can see it's definitely been stomped down. Here's a deer print. How much you want to bet this comes out at that trail? I'm up here, Dad. Look at this. Nice trail through the woods, coming right up behind my van. Now look at this. Ground has been trampled here a few times recently. We can hear that there's hardly any wood, there's hardly anything going on here in terms of not stepping on anything that's going to snap. And here's the trail. If they come through here, right straight through here, this has been moved since I put it there. And look at where we are. Right where the van is. Yep. Okay, I want to make another note here as well. The fact is that up until today, my father has been doubting me and my experiences and everything I've been saying, but today my dad took me out to the berm and the backwoods there like we saw, and he couldn't deny the proof. As a matter of fact, he even went as far as calling around to see who may have cut back the bushes there on the berm, because it wasn't him. He found out it wasn't Auntie Carol or Dave who owned the property there, and nobody knows who cut back all that shrubbery and the branches and everything else like that. So now my dad is starting to believe and understand that there's really some kind of harassment and stalking going on, and these people have trespassed on his property. So I'm gonna go down the road there and talk to a guy named Alex who's renting my Auntie Carol's house there. And I'm going to talk to him and see if it was him or if he knows who did it. And if he doesn't, then that's going to be conclusive proof, absolute proof that that was actually done in order to be able to get to me. Because as we saw the bushes with no branches in them. We saw pathways with no branches on them, so they could walk quietly through the woods. We saw branches over at the berm that had been cut off the trees so that they could get by the tree and walk up the side of the berm and get a ride out of there. And 3 vehicles taken off last night after I went out there trying to find out who was there. So I'm going to do one more bit of investigation, and if we don't have anything come up there, then we know for a fact this is a military operation.